One of the abilities in Darkroom that was added in version 2.5 is the ability to export samples of your strips to send to clients. And to do that is pretty simple. You come over here to Choose. We go into the template selection screen, and you basically just right-click on the sample that you want to send them. Choose Save Sample. Give it a name. I go ahead and I like to save things on the desktop so it's easy to find, but if you create a folder that you want to put things in, go ahead and navigate to that. I'm just going to go ahead and hit save. I'm going to cancel out of this, and we're going to come out to our desktop and take a look at that. So here is the sample strip, but notice that, of course, the photos are the Darkroom stock photos. Now, if you want to change these, that's what we're going to cover here. And it's recommended that you do change them to something more aligned with what your backdrops are, your themes, and things like that. Let's bring up Darkroom again. Okay, so for this to work, number one, you do need to have Darkroom open. When Darkroom starts, it creates a mapped drive to itself, the X drive, and we need to be able to access that in order to change these photos. So we have Darkroom open. We're going to go ahead and minimize it again. And we're going to come down to the File Explorer. And we're going to scroll down on the left side until we find the X drive. And this, again, is the drive that only shows up when Darkroom is running. When you shut off Darkroom, this will disappear. So we go ahead and click on this. And in our list on the right, we're going to go ahead and double-click on Sample Photos. And the pictures we just saw are from the Session 1 folder. So this is the folder that we're going to replace. Double-click, go in here, and as we can see, here are the photos. Now, they have added 5 photos because what will happen is when it generates a sample, it'll go down the list, sample 1, 2, and 3 for a 3-picture strip. If there were 4 pictures, it would grab number 4. And if you were, say, doing a 5x6, or I'm sorry, a 4x6 with 5 photos, it would have added that one. But what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and select everything here. And we are going to delete it. All right, so now the folder is empty. So if you were to try to generate a sample, nothing will show up in the photos. Now what I've done is I have created some new sample images. You can take your own photos. You can use the original photos from the booth if you want. You can do some stand-up shots with a camera anywhere else, however you want to get some samples. So these are just some things I shot from my friends around the office here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click once I select them all. I'm going to copy them. Come back over here to my folder. I'm going to hit paste. And there are my new images. So now I can go ahead and close these. I can come back into Darkroom, and we're just going to generate another strip. So I'm going to right-click. I'm going to do Save Sample. And again, I'm going out to the desktop. So you got everything here. I'm going to give it a name. I'm just going to call it New Sample. I'm going to hit Save. It's going to do its thing. We'll cancel out of that. Minimize. And we're going to double click, and there is my new sample with my own stock photos. Now you can do the same thing. Let's go back into the Explorer, down to the X drive, sample photos. As you go through these, you can see there are samples. Of course, they've got some green screen samples to work with your green screen templates. They have a second green screen, which is a wedding. They're the same photos that are actually, as you can see in Session 2, same kind of thing. They just added a gray background. Now, basically, I would just replace the images in Session 1. And if you wanted to do green screen, go ahead and do the same thing with these images. Create some new green screen images for here. And of course, the sample images are going to have the green background so that they can have applied to them the special effect for the green screen that you want to use. All right, so we just come out of here. Go backwards. All right, so again, it's the sample photos in the X drive that only shows when Darkroom is operating. Now that way, again, when we go in and we want to choose any other samples, so I'm going to go ahead and choose a 4-picture. Let's go ahead and do the Halloween scary strip. So I want to show someone what this looks like. I'm going to save my sample. I'm going to put it on the desktop. Give it a name. I'll just drop back out. And there we go again. So now we have our own sample photos in there. This just adds a bit of personalization to your business and your brand. So this is how we change the stock samples to our own samples in Darkroom.